Okay, so moving on, we have movement. Okay, movement is a directed path of optical motion. Now, this refers to the direction our eyes wander through a scene or in a particular artwork, diba? So, when we look at a particular artwork, the movement of our eyes, no, is what defines, no, the movement also of the art form. It could be guided by lines, as seen in the examples here, no, Ready? Or changing colors. This one. So the changing colors guided our visual, no, as to the movement of the object. Or it could also be guided by shape. This one. No? That makes our eyes move through an image or artwork. So here's another example of movement and this one. So all these artworks has this particular principle of design, which is movement. Meaning to say, the artist, no, uses particular optical motion, no, in order to guide our eyes with the artwork that they are making. Okay, and then we have another one here, which is harmony. So harmony refers to a way of combining elements to accentuate their similarities. So kung ang ganiha, di-accentuate ang differences. Now this time, harmony accentuates the similarities of objects combined in a particular composition. Okay? So image is bound to be perceived as a whole when the elements are in actual harmony. So even if um, the ingredients, no, as we refer the elements of art to be, are varied or different, if they are in actual harmony, the result will be is bounded to be a whole. Now here is an example. So if you look at the picture here, so you can see that there are various elements, no, different ingredients that make up one particular, the whole entire artwork. So with harmony, how the author or how the artist places one object after another that accentuate their similarities, the entire thing has become a whole. No? Murag nausa ra. So that's how harmony works. No? And it tends to give viewers the feeling of satisfying effect. Of course, you are satisfied with looking at this artwork because the objects are in harmony. Now, here are some examples of artwork that spells harmony. This one, different objects, different ingredients, but they highlight their similarities. Of course, it would become one. Now, this one also, and this one. So you can, again, you can use lines, colors, shapes, of course, because those are the elements of arts that you are going to use, no, in order to um, put into composition, or that those are the ingredients that you need to arrange in order to come up with an artwork. Okay? And then we have also proximity. Now, proximity refers to the placement of object. Okay, so if ganiha, how it was arranged, this time how it was placed in a particular composition, whether near or far. So objects that are near each other are seen as a unit, while objects that are bounded by distance is perceived to be something belonging to separate groups. Now, in this example image given, we can clearly see how proximity has given a new edge over artworks and how it gives off the feeling of how particular objects are arranged, whether related to or that belongs to a separate group. So you can see here, excuse me, I will sip on. So as you can see here, this objects that are grouped together form or belong into one unit, now which comprises the eyes. Well, this one here that are bounded by distance is considered to be the background. So you can use this how in proximity it matters how you arrange no the objects, the shapes, the lines, no whether or not they are far or near from each other in order to insinuate something that are related or something that belongs to different groups. So you can also see some examples here now how they are grouped together. So all these blocks are grouped together to compose or create the head, the hair, or whatever it is, and then the face. So this one also is the background. So that's how you arrange things in order to come up with something bigger, no, as a subject. Here's another example of proximity. So as you can see here, this one are considered to be related to each other, while this one belongs to another group. Okay. And then we also have here, and this one. No? These are closely related
It's
to each
10:30.
other, while this one is or in a separate group. So that's how proximity is used by artists in order to insinuate whether or not something should be together or something should be or should belong to a separate groups. Okay? And then we also have rhythm. So rhythm is a repetitive organized movement or visual flow that is within an image. So when we say repetitive, meaning to say there is this particular something now that gets repeated over and over in order to produce okay, brown out, wait, okay. So again, rhythm is a repetitive organized movement or visual flow that is within an image, meaning to say the artists find something similar that gets repeated over and over, and it forms a type of rhythm. So as you can see in this example here, no, something is similar and gets being repeated. Unsa man kaha sa inyong pagtuo ang gi-repeat over and over by the artist in order to form particular rhythm. So di ba klaro naman kung unsa kanang naghiwid-hiwid nga mga tao. Hiwid-hiwid. Anyway, so mana siya. Okay? Now, this rhythm gives the viewer this particular feeling of what to expect next, like when you clap your hands to a beat. So, here's an example again of rhythm, no? Kana murag makapredict na ka what will happen next. This one also. So, kung makakita ka kanang murag art form nga dinhi ra taman, no? Anya blanco na diha, blanco na dinhi you cannot predict that what will came here would be the same here because rhythm again is a repetitive organized movement or visual flow that is in an image. So as what I have said earlier, it gives you the feeling, no, of what to expect next. So kung kani tinhirata man imong nakit-an, and then blanco niya, you can also predict that the same thing would appear here. Diba? Another example. So if you're going to cut it here and make this as blank, you can predict that the same movement will appear here. Now with rhythm. And this one also, and this one also, and that one. So this type of artwork speaks rhythm with them. Okay? And we have the last one, which is the proportions. When we say proportion, it is the scaling of objects in relation to each other. So meaning to say, how are you going to scale one object after another with particular relationship? Now, proportion appeals to our sense of depth, this one, and scaling using relative size. Now, in elements, when they appear to be what they should be, like here as shown in this example, this is a well-proportioned art form, diba? Or artwork. So, makita ni mo normal siya, well-proportioned. The size of the horse is relative to the size of the human, or vice versa, the size of the human is relative to the size of the horse. And then, of course, the clouds is also relative to the main object. Diba? So, this is a well-proportioned artwork. Diba? But, as you can see, pasensya na mo kay katong jud akong tutunlan, sakit akong tutunlan. I have cough and also cold. So, pasensya na mo. I have no choice but I have to record your lesson for today. So, going back again to proportion. So, again, this is a well-proportioned artwork now, which is what actually proportion is. Now, how you arrange or how you scale object in relation to each other. But, as you can see, proportion can be tweaked, and we can make things as they are not supposed to be. So it actually depends on what the artist is trying to get through to the viewer. So if you're going to tweak because you have another message that you're trying to put across to your viewers, you can use size. Diba? If you can see here, no, this is not a well-proportioned art form or photograph or fake painting, but still looks amazing and mysterious, though. No, we actually this particular artwork actually open up our analysis. No, magbakain ko hala, mas kay jambot pasabot, no, why is the fruit um bigger than the tree na din sa kilid na gagmay nga kuan. So actually it caters our mind to think, to ask why, to ask what is going on in that particular artwork, which is art supposed to be doing. No, the art should not be just appreciated, but it should also promote, no, in us questioning whether or kada bang makapangutana ka unsa ni buta sabot ani, what is this all about? So inga na ang art. Okay, here is another example also in which we can actually question, no, what is the message being put across in this particular artwork, wherein the human being is smaller than the animal, which is in reality animals are smaller than human beings. So there might be some hidden message, or there's something that the artist is trying to put across into in this image. So this is what we call using proportion in order to shake off, no, the viewer's mind. Now, what is in that particular artwork? Why is it different from the usual well-proportioned one? Okay? And this one also, no? Dako pang baki kaysa kuan. Sa mga ka na isang itong tungan. So, most artists uses proportion in an exaggerated way in order to give the message that they want to put across with their viewers. So if you are fond of reading newspaper, no, in every newspaper there is this cartoon section, no, na tanaw ra diha, wherein most artists are using tweaked proportion in order to put across the messages. Kasagaran sa mga ingana kay about politics, how the government is being viewed as a huge and greedy person, and then the ordinary citizens are viewed as tiny and ligsan or kanang tamakan ra sa dako nga tao. So, if you are fond of reading newspaper, makakita mo, makarelate mo, mo man ni proportion man ni gigamit di ay sa artists, no? Na mas napay kanang murag the message was the government is actually sana gisup-sup sa government ang resources sa ordinary Juan, no? Na ay daghan. There are a lot of cartoons, no, that speaks about politics, and they mostly used tweak proportion, no, in order to put across their messages. Okay? And so that's it. That's all that there is for this topic. So for questions or clarifications, you can actually reach me on our subject group chat. Okay? That's it, kids. Bye.